You had mentioned something backstage, something about a whisperer.
In the years that we've rescued, my wife has done some unbelievable feats that even the
To
most
say the least, right?
the most experienced handlers would cringe at the thought of what she does.
No way.
We've
It's just me not thinking. It's
no,
not experience.
no. I don't.
It's
I don't.
just
I don't.
me.
I don't think it's. I don't,
Wait,
I
wait,
don't
wait.
think
Come on. Hey, once again, this is your host David here at Sun City Sitrep. Today we have some special guests. I'm so excited to truly go in there and invite them over. We have Paws of Promise. Guys, if you guys could please go ahead. Thank you for coming over, first and foremost. If you guys could please introduce yourself, I would greatly appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. My name's Elena.
Elena, thank you.
Thank you for having us. My name is RJ.
RJ, really do appreciate you guys. Honestly, you guys are a very special case that we're having over. I love what you guys do. You know, I want to go ahead and let you know. I basically saw you guys on FitFam. You know, shout out to FitFam. Really do appreciate what you guys are doing over there. But I want to. This is about you guys and about what you guys are doing with Paws of Promise. I think that this is something that is so amazing. So, can you guys go ahead and take it away? Please let us know a little bit about you. What is Paws of Promise? Where are you guys from? And where does this passion really stem from?
So we started rescuing about almost 9 years ago.
Okay, Elena.
We are a home-based 501c3 nonprofit organization now as of April of this year. Thank you to God for this
Amen.
opportunity.
Yes.
And my husband and my family for supporting me, and Amy Baker, she's been a lifesaver.
Amy, shout out to Amy.
Yes.
Tells
Please,
of
we're
hope.
going to have to talk, you right?
And I moved here from New York almost 9 years ago today. I started finding animals in the street, and I never knew there was such thing as rescue until I
Okay.
moved here. I started picking up the dogs from the street, getting them vetted, finding them homes, and it just blew up from there. I mean, I saw there was a need. I saw the animals needed help, and this is where I am today.
Wow, that is amazing. So, brother, please talk to me. So, you know, I know you guys are a duo team. So, talk to me a little bit about where are you from, and talk to us about this. You know.
Well, I'm originally from Guam, and then I met my wife here in El Paso about 9 years ago. And I didn't have little to no knowledge about animals and what it took and whatnot, and the actual issue going on in El Paso. So when she educated me and showed me what her passion was and her calling, I immediately just gravitated to it. You know, after being in the military and doing all that, just knowing that we're saving lives instead of taking them. You know, at that
Yeah.
point in time. And just through the years, I've always just been a firm believer in her passion. We started out very, very small, and then I just saw the sky was the limit. And I just said, we can do more. We can get more. We just got to keep grinding. We got to keep working at it, you know, and then we just came to where we are today. And honestly, I mean, looking back, it's like blinking my eyes, you know, like it was just like yesterday that we just had 3 fosters in the house. Now we're in the double digits almost every single month. I leave every single month out to Wisconsin doing the transports. That's the most rewarding experience because I get to see when they're feral in the very beginning, see them slowly gravitate, become domesticated and loving animals to where they're just more needy than our own animals and our own children at this point.
Wow. So now this is something cool because you mentioned your children. So this is not necessarily, you know, just a duo type of team. This is a team event. You know, your kids are also part of it.
Yes.
So now let me ask you in regards to this, you know, how are your kids receptive to that? You know, what is their actions? Do they love it? You know, can you talk a little bit about that, guys?
So we've been doing this for quite some time. My eldest is 17, and then I have a 15-year-old, a 10, a 4, and a 3-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
So my teenager, she comes home from school, and the first thing is, Mama, what can I help you with?
Wow.
So my 2 older girls are amazing. I mean, they know this is my passion, and they always tell me, Mama, you do everything for us. The least we can do is help you.
Oh,
So they're on board. They're a blessing. My 10-year-old,
She's a 10-year-old, right?
Yeah, he comes from school, goes to his room, gets on the games, and that's it. My 4-year-old, he loves all the puppies.
Really?
He wants all the puppies.
He's the receiving end when they come home.
Really?
He's like me. He wants to kiss and snuggle
Oh,
everybody.
Lord.
And my 3-year-old, he's autistic. So he doesn't really pay mind to the dogs, which is okay. He has his own living room, and the dogs have their own living room. So, yeah. But
He
my
picks
kids
and
are,
chooses who he wants to love. Though.
Really?
Yeah, he has a preference, honestly. It really, really.
for my oldest dog, my first dog, that's the only one that he'll lay with and rub.
Correction, my dog now.
Oh, Lord. So it's his dog.
My dog chose him.
Allegiance has changed.
Let me go ahead and kind of ask you something in regards to the dogs. Being here from El Paso, what have you guys noticed the most? Because one of the things that we were kind of talking about backstage is like, hey guys, why exactly did you guys kind of get into this, and what is some of the passions that you want to do? And as you guys were mentioning, you're like, we really want to go out there and we want to educate the public in regards to some of the things that you guys are seeing, because you guys are literally in the front lines, going out there and, helping these animals. So can we kind of go in there and shift the conversation? Can you guys talk to the audience about what you guys are seeing over there? If you right now, basically, you guys have a microphone, you guys have a camera right in front of you, and all of the people that see it, what would be the message that you guys would actually like to go out there and talk about? Can we kind of get into this?
Take your
I'm
pets
pretty sure
inside.
there's a lot of there's probably some crazy stories as we were talking backstage. So can we talk about that?
I just want to say, first and foremost, please spay and neuter your pets.
Spay and neuter.
Spay and neuter. I see people selling dogs here and there. There are so many dying of hunger and thirst in these deserts right here.
Really?
There are so many chained up in backyards, deteriorating, skin and bones, no food, no water, no shelter. I have seen the ugliest things. I feel like the best thing for us at this point in time in El Paso is a mandatory spay and neuter program,
Really?
because people, in the past 2 months, we've received, I have 5 litters of puppies. 1 litter didn't make it at all. The whole litter passed on.
No.
Yes.
Malnutrition, dehydration,
We
disease.
don't know. I mean,
We don't-
when we receive the litter of puppies, we don't know where more or less how long they're in that condition. And mom was nowhere to be found
So
either.
these in particular were left in a milk carton
In a milk carton.
outside in the middle of a desert in the hot sun.
No way. They just dumped them in the desert?
Yes. So by the time we got them, they were very hot. They had fever. They were barely a day old. The umbilical cords were still attached. So
No
somebody
way.
took these dogs away from their mother, put them in a milk carton, and left them to die. Thank God somebody, heard the crying and, went to check on them and found them, but the whole litter didn't make it.
Get out of here,
Yeah.
man. That is wild.
Then right after, we got another litter of bottle babies.
Yep.
And those babies, now they're about 6 weeks old. Thank God they're thriving. Those were found in a box in the dump. Somebody threw them in the trash can. We have those now. And then I got 2 moms with their babies. So I have 2-week-old babies and 4-week-old babies with their mothers. Their mother also came. She's also pregnant. So it's like, if we spayed and neutered, we wouldn't have all these dogs with nowhere to go.
Wow, man. That is some craziness. Any stories that kind of stand out, specifically? Because, like you're saying, like as we were talking in the back, your transportation, I imagine that you also, just like you guys go pick up anything that you would.
Well, I go out we still do this together, but we still go out and rescue in some of the craziest places here in El Paso, like way out in the middle of nowhere. When we first started, one of the most horrific things that we heard of was during the 4th of July. I think it was 2000, I would say
I don't remember,
18.
but you're talking about the cherry bomb?
Yes.
We didn't go out to that one.
No,
though.
we didn't, but that was one of the things that we didn't see of like just animal cruelty.
What? Talk
It
to me
was a
about-
Doberman that someone decided to put a cherry bomb in his mouth, tape it shut, and light it up.
Yeah.
Blew his whole jaw out.
I have photos of that still.
And never was anything ever done about that. And we just noticed that the animal cruelty was just out of hand at that point. We've gone to, in the middle of the desert, we found a Great Dane that we were tracking for a while. So big that we had to do a 10 by 10 missy trap, meaning that we had to get a 10 by 10 gate, sit up, and we had to have a rope at the top and the bottom of the door, leave food in the inside, and sit in the car about, say, 20 feet away with her having it on one side and I have the bottom. And when the dog comes in, we pull it.
No way,
We made
man.
our own trap.
We made our own trap because of how huge the Great Dane was. When we finally got the Great Dane trapped, took her into the car, she grew into the collar that she was in, meaning that she was a puppy and still had it on. It was so tight. It grew into her neck and she just had an open wound.
It slit her whole neck open. Her whole neck was slit open. when
She
we got
wasn't
her.
able to eat or drink. She was emaciated beyond just recovery. I really thought that this was going to be the moment that, she was just going to die in us in the car.
Wow, man.
And she came back to it, but then she ended up passing away from cancer.
She did.
Two.
She got a home,
Mm-hmm.
very loving home, and like 3-4 months later, she passed away from cancer.
Wow.
But I was pregnant at that time,
Oh, yeah.
and wrangling that dog into the car, I went into labor.
no way.
Yeah, not too long right after that, we had another fellow rescuer give us a hand of getting her placed with some medical care, and then we took the wife to the hospital after.
Yeah.
So time out. that is a crazy story. So literally, you're saying that. And how long were you tracking this? And how did somebody tip you off? Or?
Yes.
So we normally get calls and messages. So that's how we knew about this dog. And we were going out there for about a week. We put the trap up and we were putting food in there every day to coax her basically into coming into the trap, thinking it was safe. So the last day that we put food in there, she didn't think the door was going to close behind her. She thought she was going to go and eat like she had been eating every night. And when she did, we got her. So you kind of want to get them comfortable. They're hesitant.
Wow.
This is new here, So it's all a mind game.
Look, you had mentioned something backstage, something about a whisperer. Can
Yes.
you?
Yes, so in the years that we've rescued, my wife has done some unbelievable feats that even the most
To say the least, right?
the most experienced handlers would cringe at the thought of what she does.
No way.
It's just me not thinking. It's
No.
not experience.
No, I don't think it's. I don't,
Wait,
I don't
wait.
think
About
it's
another. He's telling you right now because he told me he was going to say some cool stories. So.
that. Yeah, there's been times where we've gone out with other rescuers, of course, to trap bigger
Okay.
dogs, right? And I mean, we've seen big dogs like drooling at the mouth, just like wanting to eat you through the trap because they're upset, they're scared. And she's like, "Oh, he just needs some love," and I'm like, "I don't know." I was like, "Please, whatever you do, don't do anything, unsafe." What's the first thing she does? Pulled up the kennel and stick her head. Only her head can go in there, and she goes nose to nose with this dog. And for some apparent reason, he goes from wanting to eat you to just licking her whole face. She's able to touch him. Even at Animal Services, they ask for her.
No way.
Mm-hmm. Other rescuers,
They do call me for the aggressive dogs. I mean, I have one right now that when I got her, she was like snapping, and I would have to put a towel on her and carry her around the house and pet her. But
Really?
I mean, some of these dogs are just scared and they've never had a caring hand, and that's all they need is to feel safe and know that not every human is going to fail them. And
Whoa.
that's-
So you said something very impactful. In other words, not every human is going to fail them.
Yeah.
So from your guys' experience, do you think that because it's very it seems to be a very pervasive problem here within El Paso. I mean, because I want to go in there and kind of talk about something that you guys also went in there and mentioned, and then from there I also want to talk about your current plans right now that you guys have, and then I want to talk about the future on where do you guys want to take this? What's your vision to take this overall actual amazing foundation that you guys have? Mm-hmm. So let's kind of talk about that. You're saying that you believe that. We humans have failed them. Can you expand on that, please?
Dogs are domesticated animals, right? They depend on us. food, water, shelter, vet care. Those are the basics, right? Um, a lot of times that we get these dogs, they've never been inside of a house.
Never been inside of the
Never.
house.
They're starving. At my house, we free feed, which means we have like 6 or 7 bowls around the house, and they're more than welcome to eat whenever they'd like, right? A lot of these dogs come food aggressive. They've never had a consistent source of food. They don't know how to share with others. My job before putting them into a home is to make sure that they are well rounded. They know how to be within a family, they know how to interact with children, they know how to share nicely with others because a lot of these dogs are adopted into homes that have other animals already. Um, but basic necessities, a lot of these dogs lack when we get them.
Really? So do you think that that contributes to the factor on why they become aggressive? Why are they like is it more antisocial,
It is.
kind of
Yes.
syndrome that they have? Is that what it is?
So
They go into the fight or flight syndrome.
yeah. So
They become
a lot of
feral.
it is antisocial. I mean, a lot of dogs are left either in the yard. They don't have any human interaction. Um, for a lot of the dogs that we have right now, it's their first time being in a house.
Do they walk in kind of timid?
It's very sad to see them
Really?
when they're scared to walk on the floor because they've never walked on the floor.
On a floor before.
They never
Yeah.
laid in a bed before. They never laid on a blanket. There's some dogs that they're apprehensive to even lay in the bed, even in the kennel. They prefer to lay in the front on the front of the crate where there's nothing but just the bare crate
Really?
because that's just what
It's
they're
sad. That's all
they
used
know.
to.
It's
But
sad.
they eventually get used to it.
So let me ask you on an average, when and of course this is not a perfect science because I imagine depending on the severity of the abuse or it could take you longer, but do you guys have an average or it's just case by case basis? Like in other words, to get them to go in there and assimilate, to be able to go ahead and send them off to be with a family.
We have
So
I would
it
say
just
like a 98% rate of feral turnaround.
Really?
honestly. I'm usually the ones that don't make it. We either keep them.
Yeah. I have one at my house right now. I have one. My aunt is a foster of mine. She has one. We did a hoarding case of 17 dogs where the people moved out, left the dogs in the yard. The
No way.
The video's on social media somewhere. And we went in and we got these dogs. And I have one that she literally had me in a corner. And yeah, she would growl at me and charge at me. And she's this little 5-pound thing, but
No way.
yeah, she
mean
was
little thing, really.
yeah.
But
And-
she had no fear. That dog
Really?
Yeah,
had no
she was
fear. Like
fearless.
we've seen dogs that just when you stand up and you seem 2 or 3 times the size when you're squatted down, they back down. But then you got little dogs like that. They don't care how big you are. They're gonna charge after you.
But I wasn't. Everybody from that house, aside from her and the one that my aunt has, they've gone off to families already. They've all been adopted.
Really?
So she's gonna be there as long as she needs to be. Now she'll get on the couch and sit next to you. I can pick her up. I hold her like a baby. I kiss her. She's still snapping at the kids though. She doesn't like them very much.
Is it because it's is it because it's like kind of like being that they are animals, they have like a kind of a hierarchy type of deal, or
No, I just think that she was born in that yard, and they never had any human interaction. So this is the outcome of it. Some take longer than others. Everybody else from that property, like I said, was already adopted. It's just taking her a little longer to come around versus the others.
wow, man, that is amazing.
We've even had some of the puppies in the properties that are feral. Weird. The
Really?
puppies. Like
Puppies?
what? 8-week-old
Yeah,
puppies. We've seen
they're
try
not
to.
feral. They're just scared.
They're scared, but they try to bite at you and stuff like that, and that's just crazy. That's the kind of demeanor. They don't see any humans. Never been touched by them. Nothing. There's
Wow.
dogs now. When you pet them, they do this every single time, and they just freeze up.
I'm the
Get
one at
stiff.
home that deals with the biting. I get bit.
Really?
I hold them. I love them. You're gonna love me one way or another. If I have to carry you around the house in a dog carrier, that's what we're gonna do. But you're gonna love me.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
Yeah, so please.
she had a dog in a bag, like a makeshift messenger bag with a little hole in it. She
Really?
had to carry that dog around just to get it to just
We're gonna
break it
make
out
you
of its shell.
adoptable, one way or another.
That is
But the
amazing.
love in their eyes, because I see the best part.
No,
I
honestly,
see
yeah.
when I get them to the final destination, and then we get the pictures at the end. I mean, they're just so happy. At
Honest-
first, they're a little bit scared because I'm handing them over. They're looking at me like, "Hey,
What we're doing?
why am I going in another van? Where are you going? Why are you leaving?" You know, and I always pet them and tell them, you know, it's okay. You're going to your final destination. You're
Yeah.
going to your family. You know,
I
we
want
got
to
you
share
on
a
your way.
story with him,
Okay,
yes.
please.
just so you can get your head around how serious I am about my animals.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, my dad walks in and he's like, "Yeah, too many dogs. Dad, this is my house and this is their house too." But we sent a dog out. It's going on 2 years, I believe.
Okay.
We got a phone call about a dog in a garbage bag in a park in the Northeast.
Get out of here, really.
This dog, and I have photos on social media as well about this dog. So we went out there. She was skin and bones. We get there. The person that found them waited for us. I packed my 2 kids in the car because we didn't have anybody to watch them at the time. I didn't bring a kennel. I thought I was going to carry this dog in the car and go home. We get there. This dog is emaciated. And then next thing you know, 4 more dogs her size, and I'm talking 25, 35-pound dogs,
So these are not
come over the mound.
really.
And I look at my husband and I'm like, what am I going to do with all these dogs? I came for 1. I didn't know there was 5. And he looks at me. He's like, just take the skinniest one. I said, I can't do that, honey. And I also have this video. And I'm like, I'm just going to take them all. So here I am picking up the dogs and throwing them in the car. And so now I have, 25, 35-pound dogs. And I'm like, what do we do next? The kids are in the car. I don't know if they're going to bite. So now I'm sitting in the back of the car, holding all the dogs together so that they don't go to the front with the babies. We get home. We rehabilitate them. One is microchipped. She has an owner.
Wow.
Reach out to the owner. She lets us know that she let them go at the park, hoping somebody good would find them because she couldn't afford to feed them. She relinquished her rights. We kept the dogs. We start sending them off, to our rescue partners in Wisconsin.
Wow.
Last dog is left to go. Her name is Allie. Allie goes to Wisconsin. She goes to a foster home for 6 weeks. She's doing great. After 6 weeks, she's finally adopted. She jumps the gate 2 hours after she got adopted, and she was running loose in Wisconsin. I get a phone call on Friday, and we're at a Joe Coy concert, and they're like, Elena, Allie left. And I'm like, we're getting on a plane, and we're going to go find my dog. So
we sure did.
she's
We
like-
sure did.
She's like,
We sure did. 4 hours later, we were on a plane.
no, that's not true.
Oh,
So then we're at the
That's what it felt
concert,
like to me.
and she's like, give us until Sunday to find the dog. And I'm like, okay, you have until Sunday. Sunday morning, if you don't have the dog, I'm coming. She's like, all right, just give us a chance. Sunday morning, no dog. Sunday afternoon, Elena and RJ are in Wisconsin. We land. So we get there. There's people screaming this dog's name. It's like a group of people out there looking for the dog. And we ended up spotting her, but she was already in fight or flight mode. So she
Really?
saw us and she took off. And I was under the impression I've been her mom for, so
So
many
recognized.
months. She's going to come to me. But she was already so scared with the amount of people that were out there looking for her. She just took off.
It got to the point where I literally took out my credit card, bought $1,000 freaking drone just so we can cover more ground.
No
Yeah.
way, really.
And
We
we
bought
ended
a-
up use the same credit card to print out how many?
So let me tell the story, babe. So then we go out there. We're out there for 5 days. We spot her but can't catch her. We fly back for another 4. They spot her again. We flew out there for 4 days.
Wow.
We flew back and forth 5 times within a span of 6 weeks. So we were out there for a couple of days, back home with the kids for a couple of days, back out there like that until we met a group over there that solely, did trapping.
Mm-hmm.
They set up a trap. We had cameras. We bought the drone. We gave out 9,500 flyers. We were putting it in people's cars. We had people, volunteer to help us give out the flyers. I mean, it was a manhunt for this dog. we had signs on the side of the road. What are those signs called?
The lawn signs that they have.
The lawn
We
signs. We had them on every major street, every major
We
road,
put them out in the country.
on the highways.
everywhere.
I mean, it was a manhunt for this dog.
How far did this dog actually travel?
This
She
dog
went
actually
to
went from
Wisconsin to Illinois.
Yeah, she went from Kenosha, Wisconsin, all the way down to Chicago, Illinois, on the coast,
No way.
back and forth. She traversed that much in time. I was literally on my map plotting every single time someone called us and said, "Hey, I caught the dog on my Ring camera," and I would drop a pin. And I think still to this day on my phone, you could still see where Allie traveled back and forth.
Please
and
tell
the
me
dates
this is a
and
success story. Did you guys
So
actually?
check this
Okay.
out. It gets better. So she had been frequenting this man's house. Everybody caught her on the Ring cameras eating cat food. So we knew she liked cat food, right? We were eating chicken and all kinds of things for this dog, and she was not going for it. But for some reason,
Cat food was the thing.
cat food was the thing. So,
That's why you stay on the coast.
we set up the ladies over there helping us set up a missy trap, which is a trap that is triggered by motion.
Okay.
So the moment she walked in, the door closed, right? So she had been eating the cat food and on this one property, and we asked, "Can we put the trap on your property?" They said yes. When I tell you, I went to bed at 2:00 in the morning. I was up watching those cameras that we left in the woods where she was spotted every night. I was depressed. I wasn't sleeping. The only thing on my mind was bringing my dog home. I went to sleep at 2:00. I had already lost all hope.
Yep.
2:47, my phone rings. He answers it. "Honey, we got Allie."
No way.
I'm like, "No way."
man.
We were on the 6:00 flight to get this dog back.
Oh, trust me, it gets even more interesting.
We flew all the way to Wisconsin. We rented a minivan because we couldn't fly her back.
Okay.
We drove back with her. And we hit a deer 5 minutes away from where
No,
she was
guys,
being held.
really?
Totaled the minivan.
So I mean, honestly,
Who was driving?
It was me.
Him.
So I mean, as the many times that we went to see Allie, I fell in love with Wisconsin.
Really?
Just the whole scenery, the town,
Oh,
the
most
people.
definitely.
And we're
pretty
quite
country.
famous in that area now.
So they
because
even
of
put
this.
us. They put us on the news because of it. Our hotel stay was free with the dog once we
Wow.
caught her.
Glory to God, man.
Restaurants were
Yeah, we took her to the
inviting
restaurants
us
and
to-
they cooked her steak and she had a special pup bowl and everything when we got there.
Yes, it was.
She's a celebrity over there.
Really?
Still to this day, people still
message
ask.
me asking me how Allie is, and they want pictures. But she lives with us now. I mean,
We're not gonna let that dog go.
that
That's
dog.
a second mortgage. That dog.
Yes, flying back and forth
Yeah.
was insane. But we ended up driving her back, and she lives with us today. And
How's she doing?
We didn't sleep while we were there. We literally were driving all day, all night,
looking
all
for
over
her.
Wisconsin. Like we were sleeping in the car,
Really?
waking up, taking turns driving around, looking at the phone, looking at the frequented areas, throwing the drone up in the air. It was really not a pleasant experience during this, but it taught us a lot.
What was the lesson that you guys learned from this? Number one, in regards when you guys patience. Do you think the fact that everybody was like she was more spooked in the fact that all of a sudden there's just a whole bunch of people trying to?
That's so things are a little different here, right? You see a dog, go out and get it. Most of the time they just come. But with this dog in particular, the more people that called her name, the scareder she was. So I am a person where I want it done now. Like, which is why I run out the door to get dogs, because they need help now.
Yeah, yeah.
And
You're
my
acting.
thing
You guys are
was-
action based.
Yes.
The more she stayed out there, it was winter.
And
she
there was
never-
a pack of coyotes within the same trail that she was headed.
Yes,
You think? Wow.
we would
yeah.
catch the coyotes
They would
on
catch
camera.
the
I
coyotes
was-
not far after she was just passing in that
Gone.
area. And
So-
these were packs of them that were traveling. They were sniffing out her scent.
Yeah.
I was scared they were going to catch her before we did.
Wow.
I mean,
Now,
I
they
was
could've.
pretty sure
They-
that
yeah.
she saw us in plain sight. Like, we were just looking at her in the woods, and we just didn't know. She was just laying there like...
There was one time we saw her on the railroad because people were calling us like, "Hey, we spotted Allie here," or "She's at the Chinese place down here," or, and we were, going back and forth. And there was this one time I'll never forget. She was on the railroad, and Yeah, she was walking up the railroad. And I got out the car and I'm like, Allie, it's mommy. And she looked back and we locked eyes. And I tried so hard to keep the cry inside. Like my voice broke and she heard my voice broke. And I was trying to keep calm so that I wouldn't scare her.
Then somebody
And
honked the horn.
she looked at
No
me.
way.
Yeah, she looked at me. She turned around. This is the first time she ever stopped. And I bent down with my arms open, like, come at me. And somebody honked the horn because I had parked in the middle of the street and just jumped out the car and ran to her. And she took off.
And I was out of the car throwing the drone up in the air so that way I could track her movement if she did move further down.
But thank God. She is
So
here
let me
with us
ask you,
today.
her being out that, so basically she was just kind of like rummaging, eating some cat food, and then just booking it like a little bit more, or, you know?
Yeah, that's what she was doing. She was hiding.
Every time she got spooked, she would just take off. I mean, we really don't know, more or less. I wish she had a camera on her. I really wanted
And
to
it
see
was-
how she
It
traversed
was
everywhere.
heavily wooded area.
Because it was so dense, that
Really?
area.
So we're not talking about city streets.
No,
this
no,
dog
no.
was hiding in the woods.
And there's hills and all kinds of craziness.
Oh,
so
she smelled so
Oh,
horrible
she
when we
was
got
in
her.
as a matter of fact, when we first got there, she was in a quarry.
no way.
And
She
they were
was in a rock
actively
quarry.
blowing up
Yep.
in the quarry during
Get
this
outta here.
time.
Yeah.
And we went in, no, I don't know if you should say this, but
Yeah.
we went into an area that we were not permitted. But
No, you guys were on mission.
mean-
You guys were trying to, Now, let me ask you, that is so craziness. So, did that family who you guys originally gave to, did they ever like, hey, let us have her back? Or, did they ever attempt to, or, and we don't have to kind of go in there and talk
Yeah, I'd
about it.
rather not.
No, that's perfectly fine, but because she's safe now.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. I love that. So the fact that she's safe now, that is a wild story,
oh,
man.
but the
could only-
sweetest part of the story is
Yes.
that when we got there, Allie came to me.
I know. It's crazy because sometimes the dogs flock to him.
Really? And
I'm
you're the
like,
one that.
I'm the one that saved you.
Yeah, I'm not the
It
one
was
that
me
lays
who
down and
forced
kisses
him.
them, I mean, I take care of them and all that stuff, and I'm more like ground maintenance. You
There
know
you
what
go.
I mean? Like I'm the grounds guy, and when she came to me, I kind of looked at her like, what does this mean?
I
And
was
now
blown
that's
away.
another one of my dogs.
There-
Not by choice, but I mean, I
That
love
is
her to
hilarious
death.
because you guys are so funny.
It's
I
all
love
day.
that,
It's
man.
all day like this. I mean,
Wow,
honestly,
man.
rescue is. It's trying at times, and just sometimes you just don't understand human beings. Like, how can you be so cruel? You know what I mean?
Wow.
And but
That's very impactful what you
just
just
to
said.
see some of the stories like this, we can share and laugh about, and just look back at it.
Now we
like,
can
wow.
laugh about it, but I was crying for weeks.
I can only
Oh,
imagine.
yes.
And we got her right before my birthday. So this was the best Christmas, Thanksgiving present that
Oh,
You
she
could've
didn't
been-
want to celebrate nothing. If we didn't get
No.
her home and we didn't find her body, or it was gonna be a bad year.
Yeah, it was gonna be
well,
devastating.
this is
gonna
how
be-
serious it was for me that I missed my son's birthday
Oh wow.
because I was in Wisconsin trying to find her. I mean, I
Wow.
was on a mission, and when I set my mind to something,
You-
I'm
yeah.
going to do it regardless of what it
Exactly.
takes.
This is amazing.
I think just perseverance is really what to take away from the story. That just
It's
not giving up. You know what I mean? And just believing in it. And going all the way.
You know what's so amazing, that when you guys, the belief that you guys have to understand that there's many people that lack passion for things. And it's so easy to gravitate to individuals like you guys that actually have a passion to make a difference, that maybe you guys, don't really realize that this could go in there and ignite a passion in people that right now are silent and dormant.
That's what I tell her all the time, that regardless of who follows you or who people talk to you, on social media, you're a hero
There you
to
go,
a lot of
man.
people that you
Amen,
don't
brother.
know.
Yeah.
You're awakening people to stand up.
Yeah, man, that is
Yeah.
well said, man. And that is kudos to you. You got to understand, because, look, even when we were talking backstage, there were several times there that you began to tell a story, and I could just see the passion. And I understand why this man is so in love with you. You could see that you have an inherent passion, that it's not fake, that it's coming from the bottom of your heart. And I think that that's amazing. And I think that is exactly what your husband sees and what he's so amazed on you. And that's why, it's amazing, because you guys were telling me, and some of the stuff that we were talking backstage, and how you, even like right now, you could truly go out there and you see the intensity of what you guys have. And I could see how this man goes in there and reveres that. So I just truly want to go out there and say that that's amazing. One of the things that I do want to go out there and talk about, let's talk about the current plans that you guys have, and then let's talk about the future. What are some of the things that you guys need? What are some of the stuff that we could tell the audience in El Paso? Because let me tell you something. Yes, I mean, I am a little taken aback at some of the stories that are happening here and how there's cruelty. But I'm going to tell you at the same time, I know that there is a higher group of individuals out there that are, that maybe they've never heard of what you guys do. And this is why, you guys haven't seen that impact. But we're hoping that through this, they're able to see what you guys have. And so that way you guys don't only go in there and feel as, a household group, but a whole community that could rally behind you to take this even, who knows? Look, why not you guys? Why not us? That's one of the things that you ought to go out there and start saying yourself. Why not us? And like I said, you know how a river starts? One drip at a time.
Yes, that's true.
So that's what you guys got to go out there and take that bit. Because if you guys have a passion, let's go out there and do that, So talk to me about that.
Honestly, in the beginning, when we first started, when we were trying to get funding, the community wasn't receptive.
Really?
A lot of our funding came from out of state, other people who recognized what we did.
Mainly the Wisconsin community, because they had seen, to what extent we were going to go for our dog. No matter what dog leaves my household, whether it's in 5 years or 10 years, that will always be my dog.
We're coming for them.
We're coming for it.
If you don't want,
There you go.
want them, we'll take them back. And there's been a few that.
And let me. I would just like to touch this. It's not that I don't love the community we have here. I love the community.
No, most definitely.
I
Yes.
love the city that I live in, and without everybody's support, this would not be possible for me.
Exactly.
Because there's times that I wanted to give up, and I'm like, spending my last dollar, on these animals.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to do it next month, but God has always provided
Yeah,
a way.
we call that God math.
And what is it called?
God math.
God math. Yeah.
That's a good way. I like it. I
There's
like that.
times,
God, man.
there's times that I've had dogs in my house, and I'm on my last cup of food, and I'm sitting there crying.
And somebody
Like,
shows up in the
how
truck.
am I going to buy dinner for my family today? And how am I going to feed my dogs? And the community has always stepped up for me. Always. There's always been a time where I'm down and I'm up again.
Yeah.
So
after
I'm grateful for
Fifth
that. And it's not that I don't want to adopt to the community. I just feel like we have too many dogs here already needing a place.
Yeah.
And I'm already established with an out-of-state rescue. They could help by adopting from the shelter.
You know what? Let's kind of really highlight that, because we were talking about that because the kind of question was like, hey, well, how many
You
of
want
these?
tissue? I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah,
I have,
no,
like,
most
just,
definitely.
like-
We'll get you some. We'll get you some tissue. Yeah, because and honestly, this is what we love. We want to keep it real, and we want to show people. This is what's really impactful, so that people truly go out there and understand. The overall. So the question is this, because I was talking to you guys, and this is where you guys explain is like, do you guys allow the rescues that you guys get here from El Paso to be basically rehomed here? And I was taking a little bit aback, and then you guys are like, hey, don't worry, we kind of get that a lot. And I think that's actually kind of one of the biggest grievances that you guys kind of go in there
Yes.
and get with the community, because they're like, hey, well, we want to help you, we want to adopt from you. Why don't you do this? And to your point, what you just said, and correct me if I'm wrong, is, hey guys, we have right now a lot of local entities, that already go in there. You said there's over 3,000, actual animals in shelters right now, dogs that are in shelters.
Yes.
That anybody within the community of El Paso, we're close to, upwards north of 700,000 people here, somebody could go out there, out of those 3,000 dogs, they could easily go in there. If we do the math, so they could be adopted.
Yeah.
And I think kind of brings you to the next point that you guys were talking about, which you said it at the very beginning, which is what would be the number one advice that you would give to the El Paso community in order to really mitigate and minimize this, which is you guys should spay and neuter your dogs.
Yep.
Yes, that's correct.
And not only that, so my Paws of Promise, we foster dogs.
Okay.
So if I have 30 dogs in my home that are not mine, because I already have 11, I ask for foster homes. I provide food, bed, blankets, kennel, toys, You name it, whatever, vet care. Whatever you need for that dog, I will give you until the dog is ready to go on transport. Transport meaning, to the next, part of its life, which would be to Wisconsin. Why do I send there? You don't see the kind of problems that we have here over there. I get photos of my dogs and they're on yachts in a dress, running through the grass.
Really?
I mean, they are
they're
loved.
they're on farms that are just endless to the horizon.
And it's not to say the dogs aren't loved here, but if they have that opportunity to go, let's give them that chance, right? When you foster, I know a lot of people don't want to foster and give the dog up, but there's another dog in the street waiting for a loving home. He can tell you. He takes 59 dogs. Friday, he comes back on Sunday, and I have 41 dogs in my house.
Already,
Yes.
In a weekend.
It's like a well-oiled machine in that house.
really.
Mm-hmm.
I-
We don't
That
stop.
turnaround.
I sanitize, I clean, and then the next group comes in. So when one dog comes out, into foster here, that's an open kennel in my house to help somebody else in need in the street, suffering, that needs a place, that needs help. All my dogs are fully vetted before they go. They are fully vaccinated. They are microchipped, and they are spayed and neutered before they leave my house.
That is amazing.
So,
And they all come well-rounded.
really,
Yes, I would say 90 percentile.
wow.
But going back to that, I'm just saying about the community, El Paso, ever since FitFam has really educated the public and put us
Yeah,
out
shout
there.
out to FitFam. Yeah,
The El Paso
Yes.
community has turned around and has given us so much support. I just want to thank you to the community.
I am grateful for
because in
for
the beginning
community
it
that
just
we're in.
seemed like it just was, we weren't being taken serious. But after FitFam put them out there and we just started doing more media,
yeah.
because it's just stories that we had in the beginning. And I told my wife that we got to sit here and do more video footage, like the Dodo videos.
No,
because
most definitely.
we do that in real life.
But it's hard
know what
to
I mean?
do that when it's me. Like I said, I'm the one that takes care of the dogs all day long. I'm the one out there running around with the net, trying to get these dogs if they're in the street or if they're left behind. It's me doing all the footwork.
Yeah.
Recently, my daughter just crawled under an abandoned home in Central to get puppies out of the home, and there's a video of that too. So we are boots on the ground.
She's crawled in a storm drain over in the lower valley,
Really?
over 100
yeah.
feet underneath the into the drain
To get puppies out.
to get puppies.
I will do.
And she even had some health issues afterwards. I believe she had to go see the doctor. She had a hard time breathing in all that dust.
Oh yeah, no, most
and
definitely.
everything
Yeah.
that's sitting in there, So we do get in some situations that are questionable
Oh, you want
to
to
our
laugh?
health.
I'm allergic to dogs.
No way.
Yes, we both are. She's more
Really?
severe than I am, but this woman cannot leave or go anywhere without Benadryl. It's literally like it's
Really, it's
shooken
just
in her
like a
hand.
gum. You
Yeah.
have it in one of those. Be
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm going in.
I have
So
it in
that's-
my bedroom.
so
I have it in the kitchen. I have it in the
Yeah.
car.
It's like an inhaler that she carries around. You know what I mean? You hear the rattle, you already know like she's taking.
Yeah, she's-
But then you'll see me kissing all the dogs and snuggling everybody, and then I'm like,
Her face be looking red, like really bad, like she just came back, from the ski resort or something, And
that is so wild. But that
but-
talks about your guys' passion, in other words, where it's like. So, and I know you guys went out there and said it. So, and because I was gonna go in there and backstage we were talking about some of the horror stories. And you know what? I don't want to make this actual podcast about that. I really don't want to go out there. But let's go in there, and I think it's a great time to go in there and segue. Let me ask you: have you guys ever thought about going in there and saying, "Hey, you know what? What if people wanted to go out there and they want to volunteer?" What if all of a sudden they want to go out there, since you're a 50C13 now, there's a lot of companies that could actually go out there and give you money, because if you you give a donation, you got to understand that actual donation is something that could be tax written off. Specifically right now that we're in the last quarter. The same thing, there's a lot of college individuals, there's a lot of schools that want to go out there and they need to do community hours.
So-
you know what I'm saying? Can we talk about the future now that you guys what are some of the
Absolutely.
ads for the community that you guys would love to go out there and see the community participate, specifically if somebody sees this, which I invite you guys to share, like, and post this video everywhere, because this is some good stuff. So please, the floor is yours.
So I'm so glad you asked that. Right now we're home based, and we get a lot of messages of how can we volunteer? How can we help? Rescue is at the spur of the moment. So
Okay.
sometimes there's, things that need to be handled right now. And I don't have time to wait for people to want to help me catch a dog. Like it needs to be done now, which is why I run out the door sometimes.
Mm.
I would eventually love to have a facility. This way people can come and volunteer and donate their time and play with the dogs and love them and help us feed and clean up and, really get a feel of what we're doing here. But for right now, we're home based.
Okay.
So home based or my dogs are in fosters. So we have 59 dogs in my rescue as of today. And I want to say out of the 59 dogs, about 20 are in foster homes. So the rest are at my house.
So if people want to help you, would it be safe to say, hey, if you really want to be part of this program, you can what would be the process? Let's say I just saw this podcast and it's like, man, I want to do something, but I don't have no money. I have a place. Would you guys accept? Is there a process to go in there and be like, hey, I will give your dog, maybe you don't have a centralized place, but this is a decentralized model. Is it okay? Can you, what would be the process? Like, let me foster 1, 2 of your dogs, give you some more space so you could bring some other ones so you could help them out. I'll sign the waiver that even though I'm gonna love
Thank
this
you.
puppy, and I'm gonna think he's my
Can't
kid.
sell it, can't
I
give it
understand
away.
the mission, I understand the vision, I understand exactly what we're talking about. But I'll hold them for you if it takes 3 months, if it takes a year, if it takes 5 years. I want to help out to minimize the amount of actual animals that are out there.
So the great thing with Paws of Promise is that we do transports monthly.
Okay.
So
They're not sitting with you very long.
they're not sitting with you for 2 years. My dogs don't get forgotten about. They leave every 4 to 6 weeks. So let's say I get a dog in on Wednesday and transport leaves Friday. That dog obviously isn't ready for that transport. They need to be fully vetted, meaning spayed, neutered, fixed, microchipped, and vaccinated. So we do
Dewormed,
the
all
whole
that.
we do the whole 9. So that dog wouldn't fall into that category for that transport. It would fall to the category for the next transport. So great thing is we do the transports every 4 to 6 weeks. So my dogs are constantly going. And this also helps me, to take in more. Because if I were to do local adoptions, I wouldn't be moving 60 dogs a month. Those dogs would be sitting until they got adopted before I can take in more.
Exactly, and which kind of talks to the problem that you're having right now. If there's already 3,000 dogs that are currently stuck in the local system, it would be you would just be adding,
Exactly.
even more backlog. So now those 3,000 dogs that are there, maybe because people know you're in podcasts, you're doing this type of advertising, your dogs are going in there and getting actual. Now I get it. I do apologize. I had like an aha moment.
No.
I was like,
No,
okay,
you're fine.
And
now
I would love
get it.
for
Yeah.
people to actually understand this because we're helping more by sending them out versus keeping them locally.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's not that I don't love the community. I love the food. I love the community. I am so grateful for everyone who has helped me get to where I am today because this is truly a community effort.
Exactly.
But if I held those 60 dogs, how long would it take me to adopt them out before I could bring more in? That's the way I see
No,
it.
I
And
totally
we
get
do
it.
have a foster contract. It states that your dogs must be up to date on vaccinations. If they're not, I am more than happy to help you get your dog up to date on vaccines. This is put in place so that everyone is safe, your dogs and our dogs included, right? Because if I'm bringing a dog off the street and putting it into your home, God forbid it has something, and your dog
parvo or
isn't
something like that.
vaccinated,
Yeah.
Yes.
that's now 2 dogs that are sick that I have to take care of because I will take care of, my foster's animals too. There's been times I put dogs into a foster home, they have kennel cough, the foster's dog gets kennel cough. Morally, the right thing to do is me to provide,
Medical care.
Care for both.
care for both. And I do. I always will.
Awesome.
My goal has always been and will always be the welfare of the animals. We do have a foster contract in place stating that your dogs need to be spayed and neutered. If we're putting a female into a home and you have a male that's intact, I can't do that.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, you just don't want to go out there. Yeah.
And there's also a
These
policy.
are very common sense rules that you guys are
Yeah.
applying. It's not like you guys are being very stringent at the
No, we
contrary.
don't.
You're doing it for the safety of the animals
Exactly.
and the
Yeah.
people.
We don't go
Exactly.
to people's houses and expect them to have a whole laid out yard for the dogs
Oh,
only.
we
You know,
also
we
we
don't
also
do
do
that.
home checks to make
Yes.
sure that the home is safe for the animal that we're putting in your care.
And the animal that you are getting is gonna be a good fit for your home environment. You know, you don't want to put a husky with someone that lives in an apartment that needs to have the energy
Exercise.
to
You know,
run around.
and let's kind of talk about that, and this is, I just thought about this because I was browsing to through the news, and apparently there's individuals in big cities where you come from, New York, Manhattan, all these big areas where, there's not that much space, that they're paying people to walk their dogs.
Yeah.
Let me
Yes.
see, if you have you ever thought about bringing in volunteers, and maybe they they don't have a home, maybe, but they could get to your home and they're like, hey, we'd be willing to walk them for you. Have you guys ever thought of something like that?
We
Sorry, and I know that this is kind of on air,
Like-
we
you know.
well we have, but I mean, you just you got to think about first of all the weather here.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah.
very
You're right.
hot.
You kind of said
You
that,
know
and
what
we
I
were
mean?
talking about that
I mean,
earlier too.
I'm a stickler for that because I mean, I wouldn't put my kids in that situation. And why would I do that with the dogs?
Can you go in there and kind of talk about it? Because you and I were yeah.
Well, I say when you walk your dog outside, if you take off your shoe and your sock and you can walk out there, then your dog can walk out there. Even in the grass, if you get poked by a sticker, what do you think your animal's going to exhibit the same
Exactly.
experience? You know what I mean? So that's, I say, just common sense like you were talking about right now and thinking about that when walking the dogs. It's very hard to have kind of a dog walking program because a lot of the dog parks here, there is no... You don't know what's there. There could be parvo, there could be distemper, there could be worms,
Wow,
ticks,
I did
fleas.
not
Let
think
me-
about
And
that.
they run all that, your dogs could pick up something.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know,
I'd
you
like
don't
to
want to bring that
expand on
back
that.
and then infect everyone else. So
Mm,
just
you
more
would and thank you for explaining that. I don't know. I was just thinking that I was like, I'm gonna throw it out
So
there.
not only that, but we're home based.
Mm.
So getting volunteers to walk the dogs means I have to give my address out.
Yeah.
And not
Yeah.
everybody is what they seem to be on social media.
Let's be honest.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, there's a lot of
We've-
weirdos out there.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we've met
Hey,
a
no
lot
offense,
of, we've met a lot of nice people
Yeah, most definitely, most
that
definitely.
now have become friends.
You know what? The best people we've ever seen take care of their dogs, like loving them and doing the best for them, homeless people.
Really,
Homeless
all the
people.
time, honey.
Most of the time we've seen them.
really.
They push their dogs
mean-
around in the cart. They don't sit on the floor. They feed the dogs whatever they have either half. Majority of the ones that we've ran into.
I will say this: you don't have to be
rich.
middle class, high class to properly care for your animal. I mean,
It's just common sense.
they
type of
just
dude.
need love, food, shelter. Treat your animal like you would treat your child.
Yeah.
It's really that simple. I mean, you don't have to be a millionaire to. I'm not. And I take care of all these dogs. They just want love.
Oh, man, honestly, that is so amazing. Now let's go in there and to I don't want to wrap this up without actually going in there, and let's talk about the future.
Yes.
Let's go out there and let's talk about what is in your guys' mind. And then also I want to go out there and let's talk about some of the needs that maybe we could go out there and capture and push out to the community. And who knows? I'm a strong believer that when you begin to speak things outside, you would be able, who knows, it might catch into somebody's ears that said, hey, you know what? It just hit me in my heart. I feel that I need to do something about it. So can you go ahead and can you talk to me about that?
About
The
what-
future.
The future.
I would love. I mean, it is my dream.
Please, if right now you had a magic wand and you said, hey, you know what?
Facility.
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 So let's
Facility.
talk about that, the facility, okay?
Yep.
So what would be an ideal facility for you guys?
A warehouse.
Really?
Somewhere that's air conditioned because it's really hot here in the summer.
An air conditioned warehouse, partitioned areas, a dog run, just consistent volunteers, someone running the social media portion, having multiple vans so we can actually have multiple
Transportation.
transports going out to different areas of the country at this point,
We're willing to drive wherever, as long as.
Oh.
So the person that we're.
I've driven
I'll make
all
him
the way.
drive wherever.
Yeah, I've driven all the way to Maine,
Really?
down to Florida, and back to El Paso in 7 days.
Yep.
I took 40 dogs. They were half German Shepherd, half Husky, or German Shepherd mixes.
Uh-huh.
In Maine, they had a rescue up there, and then I took them down to Florida. And it's actually a training facility for dogs of that particular breed for duck diving, police dogs, border patrol.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's traveled. I mean, I would like to see myself one day with the facility. That's my dream.
Paws of Promise, pretty big up there.
That's my dream, because then I
Yeah.
would be able to help more dogs. And we have a plan for them.
There we go.
They wouldn't be sitting forever. I mean, we have people that we work with in Wisconsin and surrounding areas that would love to, receive our dogs, and I'm more than happy to do so. Just right now at home, we're only allowed to have our space permits only so many.
Exactly. I see what you're saying. So the bigger square footage, the more you could do as an impact in the
And
community.
not even, I will say this. So I did take a dog from the shelter the beginning of this month. And you just never know what you're bringing in off the street, right? I took her from the shelter. I felt bad for her. She ended up having a disease. And that I didn't know. There was no signs until she got sick. And then I tested her for parvo. She came out positive. So, having a facility would help me to segregate.
Yeah, you would quarantine
Incoming-
any.
exactly.
Yeah,
You
you would
can
quarantine
quarantine certain areas.
newcomers. Make sure that they're okay. Put them there.
Yeah.
If they're good to go, then you could transfer them to the main facility. Where then now they would be
Exactly.
able to program and do whatever they would have to.
Exactly.
Wow.
I just had to. I spent
Makes sense, makes
maybe like
sense.
$1,000 on testing everybody that was. This is like 2 weeks ago. The scare is over. The results
Good.
came back negative, but I spent about $1,000 testing all the dogs that were around her to make sure they were also safe.
It was a nail biting situation.
Yeah, no, I
were
could only
just pending
imagine
all the
just something
results.
little like
we
that.
Just, you run in scares like that, and
But
it's not
having a-
only the dog's life and the dogs that we rescued, but our personal dogs too.
I see what you're saying.
Are at
Yeah.
risk for anything else that possibly could come in.
That
We
is
take that risk every month.
But
wow.
That's my dream, to have a facility.
Sweet. Now let me go in there and what I would like to go out there and kind of ask right now, is there any other needs that you guys would, let's that if the community would go in there and stand up, who knows? There might be somebody out there, good-hearted person that say, hey, you know what? Let me go out there. I've been wanting to do something. Let me help. Is there anything else,
Yes,
I think Foster.
Foster, that too.
Foster.
But we have used our personal vehicle
Oh,
all these
yes.
years to get the dogs to and from where they need to go.
Mm.
My vehicle is on its last leg. I believe the transmission's going because we've put so many miles on it in a span of 3 years. My minivan was brand new when we bought it, but
think it's,
it's
we're
been
getting-
solely the dog vehicle.
We put
mean, it smells
200,000
like-
miles in less than 3 years.
You guys been running it?
Yeah, for good use.
Yes.
For good use with purpose. And I mean,
Exactly. No.
I'm
I
happy.
mean it
Yeah.
that way.
yeah. I mean, he's like, "Oh my God, is our van?" I'm like, "Look at all the lives we saved.
Yeah.
Look at how many dogs have gotten their freedom ride in that vehicle." Our vehicle that we just purchased, our bus. I'm not sure if you saw that on social media. We purchased a bus. It needs a lot of work. So it's leaking transmission fluid. The door is kind of rotting off. So a mechanic, maybe somebody who has.
There you go. So anybody out there, if you guys are a mechanic and could actually go out there and would love to leave a helping hand, which this kind of goes in there and brings, so if people want to go in there and they kind of want to get a hold of you, first and foremost, what exactly are your social media? How can they go out there and actually, get a hold of you? Do you guys mind kind of sharing that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so most definitely. So, what exactly is your social media, handle?
So we have our Instagram, which is Paws of Promise ARO,
Okay.
and then we also have our Facebook page.
It's so lovely
That's-
pictures, man.
Yeah, our Facebook page that is also Paws of Promise Animal Rescue Organization, and that right there is one of the homes that they got.
Oh Lord.
It looks like a fake background, but it's not. She
It's
really
a
lives
legitimate
there.
place.
She
Wow.
really lives there.
that's
That's
just
really
amazing.
and there she goes with her kids. Yeah.
I think it's lemonade there, Selena.
Mm-hmm. She really lives like that.
And you know what? I think I just saw on the
See?
Instagram.
That's
Look
her
at
and her
that.
mama.
Wow.
You tell me how much better can it get? Those pictures are the reason I continue to do this.
Yeah.
Those pictures are the reason I struggle.
Oh, back on the Instagram, if we go back onto that one, brother, if you could put it out there, Jaime, that's the actual van that you guys went in.
That's the
Yes.
bus we just purchased yesterday. It took us 2 hours to get it to
From the west side to
from
the
the
east
west
side.
side to the east side. But
Are you guys gonna retrofit all that?
I would like to.
We're trying to get it up and running right now, and then after that, I mean, we're gonna try and see pricing out everything. I mean, if anybody does any kind of fabrication or does any kind of modifications to the vehicles and stuff like that, if they could help us out with doing that. I mean, we really want to do that in the future once we get that van up and running to try and maximize the space that we're gonna have in there, because that would increase my volume heading up there.
Makes
'Cause,
sense.
I mean, I'd do it one trip, one and done. You know. I don't
Yeah,
wanna-
that would be a lot better for you to go out
Yeah,
there. And,
I
yeah.
really don't want to make the dogs any more and make the journey any longer than it needs to be, because it is a little bit rocky for them. It's different, you know. They get
Yeah, no,
put
most
in the
definitely. They
clinicals
don't
and it's a
underst-
long way to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, with in regards to the bus, we're limited on funding, right? I mean,
Hmm.
I don't have money just lying around. I would like to get it up and running first. Maybe new lights. I think it needs a couple of new tires. Just make it to where we can travel safely with them, and then work on modifications.
Yeah.
You know, we need kennels that are going to be in there. So little
Sweet.
by little.
Now, let me go ahead and ask you, do you guys, no, I think that this is amazing. You know, one of the things that I would like to go out there is, before we go in there and, we close this out, everybody already goes in there. We're going to ensure to put the actual, handles there so that people could see it. Let's kind of go in there. I'm going to give you guys the last word. So if you guys could go in there and whatever you guys have, we'll go ahead and it'll be direct camera. I would love for you guys to go in there and give the last word. What would be the last thing that you would like to tell the El Paso community or anybody out there that actually sees? Because we know this reach is the reach that we've been able to go in there, and thanks to my Heavenly Father, attain. Who knows? You might not ever know who might end up going in there and looking at
this
these
or
and
hearing
seeing
it.
this. What would be the actual message that you would like to go out there and say to them? As we go in there and we kind of close out. And honestly, please, whatever you guys, the floor is yours. You guys have the last word.
I would just say, please continue to support us, and what we're doing in our efforts. Let's help our city not become the stickler of what has happened in the past, and moving forward and bring down those numbers in the shelter by spaying and neutering your animals, and just that's what I gotta say on my end.
I just want to say thank you. This is the camera, right?
There we go.
Thank you to everyone who has supported me from the moment I started to where I am now. I am forever grateful. I would not be here without you. The animals are grateful. And thank God
Amen.
that I'm here today. I love this community. You guys I have my bus,
Yes.
It's broken, but it's my bus.
Oh, it was fast when it got put up there. I was really thinking it was gonna take some time, but the community just really, they ran with it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many people that probably may not follow us or just heard about us, but they came through in clutch, and it was the feeling we felt inside when we reached our goal and even past it. It's like, wow, all this time, it really paid off.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
No,
Please continue to support me.
there you go. So you guys go ahead and see it. This is Paws of Promise. Guys, El Paso, if you're out there, you guys go ahead and you see the overall, handles for social media. If you guys feel it in your heart to go out there and help, one of the biggest things, if you guys can, please follow, like, and share this. The more people that see it, the more that we could actually go out there and get the message out about, amazing, entities like Paws of Promise, exactly what they're doing here in the community. I just want to let you guys know, truly thank you. I want to thank you guys for what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
honestly, it's such an amazing thing. And overall, honestly, please, if you guys do like this, just like, share, and follow, and pass it out. Go out there and share it with somebody. truly, truly do appreciate you. Once again, I'm your humble host, David here. Thank you, and see you on the next one.